Now, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's stewardship of Nigeria has focused on economic reforms, fiscal discipline and governance responsibility since he took office in 2023. His administration implemented policies such as the removal of fuel subsidies and unification of exchange rates to stabilize the economy, attract investment and improve government revenue. Supporters note progress in social programs, job creation and digital infrastructure, while critics point to continued high living costs, security challenges and calls for deeper governance reforms. Tinubu has also played a regional role as ECOWAS chair, showing leadership in West African diplomacy. Now, the balance between ambitious reforms and addressing citizens' everyday concerns remains central in his governance responsibility.
Joining us today is Mr. Ajiboye, the Executive Secretary of the National Institute of Cultural Orientation. With his expertise in governance, public policy, and citizen engagement, he's here to help us unpack President Tinubu's stewardship and the responsibilities of governance. Welcome to the show, Mr. Ajiboye.
Thank you.
Always a delight to have you. You're coming at a brink of the concerned people of Nigeria, the NLC, and the civil society organizations going up in arms that there is a subtle attempt to mortgage the nation's political future by subverting the real-time transmission of election results. How would you respond to this?
Well, thank you. I have always known that we're running a society that is continually hijacked by certain people and their thought processes. Transmitting election results electronically is a function of manner of voting. If you vote manually and you collate results, and from EC8 is signed, how do you then transmit electronically real time? How is it possible? Commonsensically, structurally, technically, technologically, it's just not possible. True.
Well, I think what Nigerians are saying is that they want to monitor the tally real time. It doesn't stop the signing of the bureaucratic process involved in signing the form ECO8 by the presiding officer and the party agents countersigning it. But they want to watch it real time as they are watching us. That's what is meant by real time transmission of results. That this program is not going to be recorded and now transferred for broadcast. They are watching us real time, and that's what the unequivocal transmission, real-time transmission of results is what Nigerians are demanding. And that seems to be at variance with what the Senate is providing.
See, let's get it very clear. I'm neither the Senate nor the Nigerians. But we can reason logically. You are saying to me that over all the polling booths in Nigeria should transmit electronically real time. Now, one, does the telecom operators have that capability? Two, do we have enough electricity to undertake that responsibility in Nigeria? Three, is the infrastructure of the telecom companies sufficient enough to undertake such exercise? Now, what will happen? The last election we had, the INEC server was attacked over 1 million times. So what they are saying is we should put the electoral process within the vulnerability of hijackers. They will now hack the servers. We now go back to, this election is inconclusive. We can't then cause a lot of confusion. That's what I see them pushing. We should do. America does not even transmit electronically real time. There are manual parts of elections. And what can happen, like as it has always happened, is you vote and they count the votes, then party agents append their signatures on the paper. The paper can then be scanned and transmitted anyhow you want. But if you vote electronically, it means that as you are voting, it is transmitted or transmittable. But once there's no electronic voting, and we can't even afford, I've just told you, even if we wish, we can't afford. The responsibility of the Senate is to look at possibilities in view of structural infrastructure, in view of other possibilities. So it is easy for anybody to push and say, this is what I want. America doesn't even, Britain does not even do what they are requiring.
Oh, okay. I mean, you've just hit something on the head when you said electronic voting. Perhaps that should be the goal in the long term, that we move to electronic voting, because then it eliminates, you know, extensive manipulation. You vote electronically, the results come up electronically immediately in real time. But let's move this conversation to something else. I'm going to ask a question which might seem odd, but it is pertinent in an era of dwindling resources, discussions about a leaner government and fiscal responsibility. What does your organization, the National Institute of Cultural Orientation, do that is different from the functions of the National Orientation Agency? Could both agencies have been collapsed into one, possibly?
Right.
Well, the question of collapsing the two agencies into one...
And many other agencies, anyway.
I don't know.
But this one, yeah.
Let me explain to you. The National Orientation Agency has the responsibility of broadcasting, disseminating policies of government in a way that the common man will understand. And that's why they have almost offices in almost every local government. The National Institute for Cultural Orientation is to say, hey, a research institute to allow the public to understand the essentialities of their culture. A man without a cultural identity is a man without a future. A nation without a cultural identity is a nation without a future. What role does culture play in our existence as humans? You can look at a man the way he's dressed and tell where he's from. You can look at the gentleman sitting beside me and say he's a British man, the way he's dressed. So what I'm saying is that the thinking behind the creation of National Institute for Cultural Orientation is to understand that man, first of all, must have a cultural identity, which will now lead to cultural pride. The making of a man, it is principally understanding his culture.
So do we need two different agencies to do this?
Well, we may even need more than 4 agencies to do it.
Okay.
As we speak, our young people do not even understand our culture enough. And if they do not understand the culture of where they are from, they cannot be good citizens of any country. Patriotism will come after you have been able to... You see, a man is first of all a citizen of a culture before he becomes a citizen of a country.
Right. Okay, so you've spoken about the role that culture should play, but how effective is this in promoting national identity?
Well, the government has to do a lot more. The government has to understand that cultural identity is the basis of existence for any human. So we're always stampeded, no resources, no funding, this and that. Those are the basic problems, actually. But if the issue of funding is resolved for our institute, we know what to do and we know how to get it done. But we are doing our best.
Yes, but the effectiveness of it, what is the effectiveness of this?
Well, we organize public lectures. We do a lot of cultural orientational courses. We have an institute. We have a school. We are even trying to start the Nigerian Academy for Cultural Studies with a campus in Ogbomoso as we speak.
Okay, now let's seek more clarity on this issue of the electoral draft, the demand for real-time transmission of electoral results. Now, it seems that, do you think that in a country that seeks to change its credibility at the global arena, to change that perception, that because of our challenge, our technological challenge in providing for this, is enough excuse for us to hide under that incapacity? Don't you think that that will create a fait accompli in our electoral narrative?
A man is only able to do what he's capable of doing. If we have no capability to do electronic voting at this time or real-time transmission at this time.
No, but when you look at the cost-benefit analysis, because it seems we are tilting more and we are being more comfortable with on relying on opacity that would further question the nation's electoral credibility. People are arguing that once this electoral transmission is passed, the real-time electoral transmission is passed, that would further strengthen INEC. And definitely there will be challenges, and INEC could now show demonstrate that discretion that is needed at such critical moments, and it will be shown that beyond reasonable doubt there was a challenge in that real time in some given cases, rather than using one brush to brush aside that prospect that would have been a game changer to our electoral narrative.
You are poking problems. You are looking for trouble. I don't know why.
No, I'm looking for electoral credibility.
No. You are just like this activist looking for trouble when trouble does not exist.
No, I don't want us
I
to
have
miss
told you, sir,
an opportunity.
There is no, listen, Oga, America does not even do real-time transmission. Go and check.
Even Ghana beside us,
Ghana is a country of about 30 million people. You don't even have telecom provided for some rural communities. Some rural communities don't even have electricity. You are trying to disenfranchise a lot of people by pushing for what is not possible. I have told you that technologically it's not possible. See, what is not possible is not possible. What is possible is possible. Stop stampeding the Senate. Stop stampeding the National Assembly into getting into something very difficult that will put everybody in a mess at the end of the day. Then we'll now be scampering for a lifeline. Oh, let's do this as a secondary, option.
But do you agree we need transparency in this process?
Look for transparency. Every electoral process must be transparent, because no matter who wins, there will always be somebody to go to court. Everybody is always aggrieved when it comes to election, because everybody believes it deserves to win.
All right. There will be more on that, because the Senate has called an emergency plenary session for tomorrow. So I'm sure this conversation will continue. But I'd like to go back, to 2024, when the Federal Executive Council approved the full implementation of the Oronsonya report. The government had promised to implement the report to cut waste and merge duplicating agencies. We're still waiting. So why has that commitment gone cold? Did this government ever mean to implement that report, or was it just a political cover? Again, all of this in light of the fiscal responsibility and dwindling resources within the country.
Well, I will simply and easily refer you to the office of the Secretary to the Government of the Federation to answer that question logically, authoritatively, and correctly.
But you are a firm supporter of the president, and at every forum you always, paint him in good light. What is your view about that report that has not been implemented after the president promised that it will be done?
Now, let me tell you, you will not know, but there's a committee in the National Assembly that is managing that process.
We're aware.
And we have been called for several meetings to justify agencies, to justify why they still exist. And I think that process is going on very well. Until that process is completed, it will be nice to start discussing it here and there. And that's just what it is.
Yes.
I do not see the president of Nigeria, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, leaving any stone unturned in actions and activities that are geared towards a better nation. Believe you me.
Chief Abiodo Ajiboye, thank you so much. The Executive Secretary of the National Institute of Cultural Orientation, thank you so much for your insight and your contribution. Well appreciated in this discourse. Thank you very much for joining us live on Daybreak.